Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. Here are your hosts, Oswin and Lord Knight. Today's topic is going to be, it's when we say things like, I hate to say it.
And then we do.
And then we say it anyway.
Well, yeah.
And you and I both do this.
Yeah.
We try not to, but we do.
We do a lot.
You know, and then there's also the things where, you know, well, I don't mean to come across as mean, but
I'm about to come across as mean. I think, is that part of our Southern upbringing?
it could be. I don't know.
You know, because growing up, I hate to be this way. I remember.
See? They're right there.
Yeah. Our moms were bad about this. The gossiping church women in the back.
Well, yeah.
You know, they were polite about their gossip that they were talking about.
Right, but is it being...
I really don't want to speak, bad of Sally Sue, but if she swings her legs open anymore, it'd be like a front porch.
Well, and you know, I just had a lady at work the other day say close to the same thing. She's like, I don't mean to be a gossip. I'm not trying to spread gossip.
But
and then she does.
And then you...
But I'm just wondering, when we say things like that, when we say, you know, I really hate to say it, but blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I think that's we knowing we're about to. We know that no matter what in the world you say, this person's going to take this the wrong way.
Right, but I think in some ways that comes across as us apologizing for what we're saying.
I think we're trying to apologize in the fact that we are going to hurt your feelings.
But why are we apologizing? It's an opinion.
True.
And we have an annoying dog.
I mean, you're right. It's an opinion, and, you know, all I can think is, you know, we're letting you know up front, we're going to hurt your feelings. We're just trying to be nice about it. We're warning you ahead of time. You know, brace yourself, Effie.
Trigger warning.
Dennis Winston's idea of foreplay was brace yourself, Effie.
Right. Jesus.
I mean, that's literally exactly what we're doing.
So you don't think it's really in any way apologizing for what we're saying, but more of how it's going to come across?
Oh, yeah. And that we already, there's no use in you sitting there going, well, that was mean. No, duh. I told you that to begin with.
Right.
But I mean, I do notice this. We do this. You know, do we do this because it comes in from a place of caring or anything like that? Or are we just coming across because we want the conversation to continue? Even though we know it's going to go to a bad place, that it's going to wind up being a heated argument or a heated debate. Sometimes those heated debates need to happen. We have to talk about these subjects where people do get really upset.
Right. I do understand that.
I mean, it's got to be done tactfully and slowly and methodically, because if you don't, the other side's going. But my question is what do you do for those more touchier subjects where, hey, we're going to talk about stuff that's going to make people mad? We have to. How do we understand these? I mean, do we ignore them?
Well, no. I mean, I'm like you. We have to talk about it.
I mean, I believe there should be some proper etiquette there to remind people, no, we're talking about this touchy subject on a intellectual level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that it's our time to remind it, no, we're trying to have a more intellectual conversation versus an emotional one.
But I also noticed that it's one of those things where when you and I say things like, I hate to say it. When we say things like this, sometimes I wonder, are we even using it in the right context? Or are we just saying it because we've gotten so used to saying it?
I would probably do it because we're more used to it.
You see where I'm going with this?
Because normally it comes along with gossip or something along them lines where, you know, the whisper behind closed doors things. I hate to say this, but I think she's fooling around on her husband.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, because in the Southern culture in which we were raised, it was always a sign of you're going into rumor or gossip that might not be true completely.
Right. Well, when I'm coming into things like that, I usually say things like, I don't know if this is true. It's only what I've heard.
Well, I'm also asking, or is this like being on a date? You might like the person real bad and you're sitting there across from them, and how do you politely tell them that they have a booger in their nose or spinach in their teeth? Or, I mean, think about it. That they really have something going, wrong there, and they might want to pay attention to, that they're going to feel foolish later when they go to the mirror and look and go, oh, crap.
Right.
So, again, touchy subjects.
Oh, man, that's like, how do you, as a guy, how do you tell a stranger that his fly's open?
Yeah.
Do you, I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of the same stuff. I mean, it's just, how do you approach that?
Right. How do you approach that? Yeah. I mean, because I'm thinking the kid in the subway that's 3 feet tall.
Right.
Right at that, lump level.
Lump level. Oh, that is so wrong.
I mean, but you see what I'm saying? I mean,
we just got canceled.
Oh.
Bye, y'all. See you later.
But I mean, come on. I mean, how awkward is this? I mean,
right.
Because it's one of them things, which is more awkward for that, 6-year-old kid to look up at you going, Mommy, his zipper's unzipped.
Right.
Or for you to be standing there going, ah, crap. I'm so glad I wore underwear today.
Right.
I mean, that's like being a guy and wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And if you're going commando, if you sit the wrong way out in public or in the wrong area, there was an episode of Friends that was on.
Oh, yeah, there was, wasn't it? He really made things awkward for a lot of people, didn't he?
So,
yeah.
So again, I think this behavior really came from people trying to have debates and reminding each other, no, we're trying not to be emotional. I'm trying not to yes, I know I'm about to say something that's going to upset you. I need you to remain calm and listen to me to actually answer the question logically and rationally versus emotionally.
Okay.
Because again, I'm still back to not talking about these subjects don't always seem to help. Then when you're trying to sit there and be too polite about it, you never actually get anywhere.
Right.
I'm not talking about being mean or not mean. I mean actual talking about these conversations, these harder conversations, which means yes, you're going to get pissed. And we need to be able to debate this in an environment where if you get time out, whatever.
Well, then wouldn't it be easier to say something along the lines of, look, this is going to be a touchy subject. I mean, just being upfront about it instead of...
and that's why I was thinking this might be politeness coming out in us doing this to let people know, hey, look, I might be about to piss you off, but I'm not. This is not my intent. My intent's just to inform you of this info that I know.
All right.
That's why I always hear that when we're saying that, I'm probably about to piss you off, but I need you to listen to what I'm saying first, then do the emotional reaction later.
But then is it really something that we hate to say?
Again, it's...
You see where I'm going with this. Do we need to rethink what we're saying and how we're saying it?
Would you say that yesm is wrong?
Well, no, but
do you see what I'm
asking? When you say things like that and then you say it, do you really hate to say it? Do you... You
hate the emotions you're about to inflict on another person at the time.
Okay, but then you're really not hating what you're saying.
No, you're just hating because you know what the reaction's going to be. Is all I'm thinking is, Hey, I realize I am, I do that a lot on the podcast. Hey, just to let y'all know, I'm about to piss off a lot of people.
Or so we think.
Which I do on a quite regular basis, I think. I mean, but do you understand what I'm saying? I see it as a niceness and a politeness for debate and conversations.
Well, then, okay, but I guess where I'm going with this, trying to go with this conversation is we talk a lot about saying what you mean.
Right.
And so then we say things, well, I hate to say it, but blah, blah, blah. Then we really don't hate to say it, because if we really hated to say it, we wouldn't say it at all.
But doesn't this fall into the same category as the whole jump the gun?
How so?
If you know the culture, if you understand what's going on there, you understand what this phrase is actually referring to. Like seeing the whole board and, oh, look, they had a Romeo and Juliet relationship.
I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking maybe a little too literal on this.
That's what I'm thinking there, is that you're thinking too literal, and it's actually one of them. What is that? An ideogram I'm talking about?
I haven't.
Okay, see, you can tell English is not our major.
Hey, Alexa, what's an ideogram? Do we even know?
Because then it becomes, because overused, it becomes a cliche.
A noun meaning karyogram?
I think we're
probably not even using the right word.
I know we're not using the right word.
English as a first language. Ha!
Even English is a foreign language to me.
But anyway, we know what it is. What we're looking for is it's a phrase that means something else.
Right. The same thing. Like I said, these things, they have on other meanings besides, but they originated from a particular point and actually have, just like the whole Romeo and Juliet. People already, even if you've never read Romeo and Juliet, everybody in our society knows this story somehow.
Right. To some extent, yeah.
To some extent. We realize this is a tragic story, and this is, one of the iconic love stories known through history. But without being a part of that, you wouldn't know what it is. Do you really think an octopus really cares?
Probably not. It can't even understand us. So.
But do you see what I'm saying there? And that might be where in the world this is coming from. This is why we say it. Instead of just, I'm about to piss you off.
Yeah, but see, I think that would be more appropriate.
Well, again, like I said, I think you're doing it to apologize because you're about to hurt the person's feelings. Oh, I'm about to do it. I'm just telling you ahead of time because I ain't going to apologize later.
All right. Well, I mean,
I'm being ahead of the curves.
Okay. All right.
I think I'm done with this.
I think so. Ready for the next topic?
Sure.
Inclusiveness.
Okay, what about it?
How far do we go?
Well, you go as far as you can and you're willing to go.
All right.
What do you mean?
Deer in the headlights look here. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not going to sit there. Well, see, there's your problem, is I can't tell other temples what to do. All I can say is in my temple, let's say you come in and you say, okay, black robes trigger me, so y'all need to start wearing plaid.
Okay.
Or purple. Let's go with purple. And I look at this person and go, well, A, that ain't going to happen. And B, because only in our tradition, only third degrees are allowed to wear purple inside ritual space. And even then, we don't. So what makes you think I'm going to do that for this person? But there's so many other temples. There's so many other things there. Why in the world do I have to change when that person can go out and find something else or start something else?
Well, true.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what in the world we're being told. We're being told over and over again on this subject is, no, you have to believe our way. But we're all accepting. This is what you hear from the other side. Oh, we're all accepting and all this. except for you.
Right.
But yet we're looking at them going, no, you can believe that. You just got to remember, we believe this, and we believe this is wrong. And then they go all, what happened? I'm asking you, what suddenly happened? Why?
I don't know. I think
Why is it so controversial that I sit there and go, yes, I honestly believe that, yes, you injecting a chemical into your body to force your body to change into the other gender is a perversion of nature.
Right.
Does that mean I have the right to stop you from doing it? No, especially if you're an adult. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to judge you on that. Do you see what I'm saying there?
I think a lot of what's happening is with the newer generations that are coming up since, well, probably I'd say since our generation, right? Generations that came after us. I don't know. There's slowly been a shift in those generations in their ways of thinking.
Well, see,
I don't know. It's bizarre because now if you don't think the way that I think, then you're wrong.
Right, because it's became this whole entire thing of, if you don't stand for this, you got to stand against us. And you're sitting back going, wait a minute, how did that happen?
Yeah, I'm not standing against you whatsoever.
You
do what you want to do.
Well, let me give an example. Illegal immigration, it's illegal. This should be enforced.
Right.
But instead of sitting there, but what you hear, oh no, so that means you want to get rid of all migrants. No, that ain't what I said.
No.
I said I want to cut down on this illegal migrant thing. Oh, then you don't like it. I don't get it. How does not liking this part mean you don't like the other part?
Right. That's not what you said.
That's not. Do you see what I'm saying? I see this done a lot. All right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's. I don't know how it happened, but it's been that shift in the younger generations, and I'm not sure how it happened. I'm not sure why it happened.
I mean, there are more than one option on some of these things, and well, I mean, like, do I agree with the public sentimentality on everything? No, I realize that they're going to use the slippery slope to try to take gay rights and all this other stuff around that I do agree with.
Right.
But for right now, there's a lot more that I have in common with them than I do the other side.
Right.
Does that make sense? So at a point or another, somebody like me is going to have to go, nope, time to put the brakes on. Nope. Again, we're doing exactly what in the world we tell you we're doing. We're keeping balance. It's just that balance happens to be a difference between holding traditions the way they need to be held and progressing forward too at the same time.
Right. I mean, we're not saying that this tradition doesn't change, because it has changed over the years.
Oh, God, yes.
Things need to adapt in order to survive.
Right. I mean, again.
But there's only so much we're willing to change.
Right. I mean, because at the beginning, we used to actually believe, which was told to me by Lord men, only the perfect could stand in for the gods. So only third degrees could be whole. So if you were missing an arm, an eye, part of an earlobe, no.
Right.
You were disqualified. Now, over the years, we've moved away from that. But we still understand the heart of the matter of that we got to stand whole with at least spirit with the gods.
Right.
100%. But that's not the same thing, but it's took time to change that. So we have progressed. No, it might not be at the pace that some people would like, but there are reasons for that.
Well, and then too, I saw a video not too long ago, and it looked like a classroom of students, and they were specifically asking their teacher her opinion on something. And then when she voiced her opinion, and it was about male and female being two genders.
Right.
Someone spoke up and said, well, that's not my truth, in so many words.
Right.
And the teacher was like, I don't care. There's only two genders.
Right.
And then she said something else, and then Lo and behold, the entire classroom got behind this one student telling the teacher she's wrong, that she can't do that. You can't believe this. You don't. And I'm like, no.
Well,
you're asking me my opinion.
You're talking about being progressive just for the sake of being progressive.
Right, but you're asking me my opinion.
Right.
And then when I tell you my opinion, you're telling me that I can't believe that way.
Or I'm not allowed to believe this way, and now we're going to call you out.
So, no, I can't get in line with that. So as far as that part of inclusiveness goes, don't walk into this coven.
Well, my question is what's real inclusiveness?
Well, I think inclusiveness...
inclusiveness to me is you're hired not based... with the understanding that the color of your skin has about as much to do with your ability to do a job or not to do a job as your eye color.
Right.
Or what clothes you happen to be wearing at the time. The two are not associated with one another, but yet we got people wanting to associate that.
Right.
The fact is yes, we've been living in a world where people made decisions based on what in the world's in the best interest of the company. Who's the best person to hire? Yes. Regardless of anything else. No, we got to make money. I need the best. I don't care if they come in with a mohawk. We had that world.
To an extent.
Right.
To an extent we had that, yes.
But I'm talking about mine and your generation. When we go to hire people, we don't think about stuff like that. Honestly.
I think there are those who do.
Well, there are those who do.
And there's always going to be those.
But there's a lot of us who didn't. I didn't look at the person when I was hiring them if they had tattoos or whatever. Can you pick up a mop? Can you do the work? You're hired.
Right.
Can you do more? Then we're going to give you more money to do this.
Right.
It didn't have nothing to do with anything.
Mm-mm.
But your ability to do the job. There was a lot of us doing this. But yet we're being told right now, no, what you did, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're full of shit for the way you're thinking, for judging people based on their ability to do something or not to do something. Why should I be told to feel like crap for doing what I was supposed to do?
So again, how far is too far?
Exactly.
Where do we stop? Where do we draw the line?
It really depends on the individual. As far as temples and traditions go, yeah, it depends on the people in charge, what in the world's going on. No, if you don't like it, no, there are times where in temple and stuff, if you want to change things, yeah, you move up the ranks, and then when you get high enough, you start changing things. You're the one that comes into control.
Right.
And the reason I keep on saying it this way is sometimes there are reasons for some of the ways we do things that maybe a first degree or especially a neophyte is not privy to.
Right.
It's different when you're on the other side of the fence. You with me?
Yes.
Everybody thinks it's easy until they're the ones in the hot seat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many people have we known who've tried to start their own groups?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's a piece of cake. Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then they come back and they're like, oh, my God, I didn't realize it was so hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole lot harder than people think.
It's a lot of work.
Over time.
It's a lot of work, but I know you and I have been passionate about what we've been doing, and it never felt like work to us.
Well, no, it just felt like our lives and what we did, and that's it. So, again, where's not the inclusiveness? I'm not going to change fundamentals of my religion to suit someone out of left field on something.
Right.
All right? I hate to be this way. There's too many options in the world for you to sit there and not be able to find something.
So then would you say that if you could boil it down into one statement, would you say that it's more like the needs of the many outweigh the wants of the few?
I see it as more like rights. Because again, you're asking me to override other people's rights just to satisfy yours.
Okay.
Where it's just as unfair the other way around. And at somewhere in there, people have to go, no, there has to be a dividing line. But sometimes, no, it's not here. It might be somewhere else. You might have to go on and create it yourself. Because, I mean, there's just certain specific things to an individual that is completely different for a group. It's a completely different scale trying to get...
Well, yeah, I mean, we had, I'll never forget, we had a class, and we had, I think we had about 10 people in that class. This was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody showed up for class one day, and then there was a portion of the class where you said something about men and women are not created equal, and that we balance each other, and all, and there was a staunch, hardcore feminist. And she did not like that one bit. She didn't agree with it.
And shut down after that.
And she shut down out of that class, and then after that class, we never saw her again.
And you know what? She was completely in the right.
Of course she was.
I mean, and I hate to be this way.
And if she had even...
that's what I was going to say. Even if she'd gotten up in the middle class and just went, no, I don't agree with this. I got to part ways. This is a deal breaker for me.
And it'd be like,
okay.
And, you know, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. I'm sorry we wasted your time.
Right.
You know, have a nice day.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Hope you find something that works for you.
Hope you find something that works for you. If you'd like, I'll send some suggestions, but...
Right.
What's wrong with people doing that now?
But see, I don't think that's being exclusive.
No.
I still think that's part of being inclusive, because we're not forcing anybody.
Well, I mean...
But we welcome everybody.
My question is how good of a priest would I have been if that one woman would have gotten up in that class and said, no, it's got to be this way, blah, 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 and went, well, yeah, you're right, just to make you happy.
Right.
What would that have said about me? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What would that have said about me? How easy I just gave up what I believe in to accommodate one person. Would that be somebody you wanted to follow?
Well, no.
For those people who have, for lack of thing, bent the knee.
Right.
Who went back and apologized or changed their views. What does it say about them as individuals?
Yeah, because thinking about an old saying that used to go, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Right.
So I don't know what happened to that, because now it's everybody standing up for all this other stuff, but they're not listening to anybody. I think the other part of that is, yeah, you got to stand for something, but you need to be able to listen to other people's arguments.
Exactly. You need to be more of an adult about it. Maybe some more than others, but...
Well, you know, I can always go buy some Pampers for you. This baby want a pacifier.
Really. You definitely cutting that shit out.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Anyway.
I digress.
Well, being an adult about it, yeah.
I mean, being an adult about it. It doesn't help to sit there and go half-cocked, or to start to lose an argument and just start going, well, then, and a boo-boo.
Right.
Or screaming off the top of your head. It doesn't make any sense to have that.
No.
But yet, when you have adults doing this, wait a minute, listen, just all we're asking. Not asking you to agree, just listen. Or is the fact is that the fear is that they listen, that they'll wind up having to agree with us?
That's an interesting question.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, but I think either way, that's not being productive.
Well, no. But
and all it's doing is causing a stalemate. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning